Hey guys, welcome back to another video of my channel. I had not yet confirmed my new channel name, but it will be soon. And welcome back to another video of what if S was abused by his part. So we have come a long way from the very beginning of the story with the death of Delia in front of S, who was quivering and shivering in a corner of his room while his dad killed his mother. So if you want to see that scene, you can just check out the description for a link of that particular video. And it's already been 4 episodes in the playlist section. You can check that out too. So without any more delay, let's begin today's episode. And if you are new on the channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell icon. So let's begin.
Last time, Ash stood up, stretching each part of his body before pulling out the leftover food that he has. He then pulls out the bowls for his friends and fills the bowl with food before placing each of the bowls in front of them, watching as all of them, including Jin, literally inhale their food. Ash just slowly eats his sandwich, humming at the mixed berry flavor. After a few more minutes of eating and cleaning the bowls, Ash turned to his team. Alright everyone, it's time to start training for our first gym battle in 4 weeks. 1 week will be spent here and the other 3 will be spent in the Viridian Forest. The first gym is a rock type, so I plan to use Jin and Reza. Now, so first things first, I'm gonna check what moves you have. Knowing the professor, he had installed that program onto the Pokédex. Ash states, pulling out his Pokédex and began to scan his team starting with Jin. Pokédexes can't tell the difference between a shadow Pokémon or a shiny Pokémon, as they both are Pokémon with different coloration. This is also caused by the extinction of shadow Pokémon. Riolu LV 17 Gender Male Description Riolu, the bipedal canine Pokémon. It is black legs and torso, a blue tail, and a yellow collar. It has rounded bumps on the backs of its forepaws. It stands on its toes instead of its entire foot. It is sensitive to a special type of energy called aura. However, it cannot fully use these powers. Like almost all fighting-type Pokémon, Riolu naturally has superhuman strength, stamina, and endurance and is capable of making long journeys on foot in a short amount of time. It is a playful, energetic, and loyal Pokémon. Moves: Force Palm, Quick Attack, Aura Sphere, Counter, Feint, Detect, Reversal, Endure. Ability: Inner Focus ** Note. This Pokémon is shiny. Pikachu. LV. 27. Gender: Male. Description: Pikachu is a short, chubby rodent Pokémon. It is covered in yellow fur with 2 horizontal brown stripes on its back. It has a small mouth, long, pointed ears with black tips, and brown eyes. Each cheek is a red circle that contains a pouch for electricity storage. It has short forearms with 5 fingers on each paw, and its feet each have 3 toes. At the base of its lightning bolt-shaped tail is a patch of brown fur. Moves: Electro Ball, Thunder Shock, Thunderbolt, Quick Attack, Shadow Ball, Thief, Agility. Ability: Lightning Rod. Note: this Pokémon is shiny. Jin, your moveset is already good enough for you to go up against the first gym, though I am gonna have Reza learn to dig before we challenge it. Once you do learn it, I want you to do some extra practice with your Aura Sphere and Force Palm. I want you to try and see if you can increase the execution speed of those moves. Reza, after you learn to use Dig, I'm gonna start you on Iron Tail, as in the future you will have to face off against Pokémon with type advantages against you, so it would be better if you had some moves to fight off against them. He states to the two of them, before turning and scanning his other two Pokémon. Zorua. LV. 29. Gender. Gender fluid. Description. Zorua is a slate gray, fox-like Pokémon with red and black accents. Zorua can change its physical appearance, though this transformation is merely an illusion as it keeps its type and moves. Zora is said to have a timid nature which leads to the development of its illusion abilities. Zorua keeps its true form hidden to ensure its safety and takes on the appearance of other Pokémon to frighten off enemies. Sometimes it will take the form of a silent child to search for food. It has been known to occasionally replace normally talkative children. Moves. Shadow Ball, Transform, Quick Attack, Agility, Leer, Dig, Bite, Shadow Sneak, Scary Face, Pursuit, Foul Play. Ability. Illusion Hidden Ability. Prankster * note. This Pokémon is shiny. Nidorina. LV. 25. Gender. Female. Moves. Peck, Poison Sting, Double Kick, Toxic, Bite, Headbutt, Dig, Iron Claw, Leer. Note. This Pokémon is shiny and knows an egg move. Ash lets out a smile. That's great. Loki and Kaiser and I want the two of you to teach Jin and Reza how to use Dig, or at least until they get the gist of it. After that I am gonna attach these, he states, reaching into his bag and taking out a few attachable weights. Onto your legs and waist, before having you run laps around that giant oak tree. This training is mostly for you, Kaiser, and as your evolution line becomes slower due to how big you get in your final evolution. Loki, I'm gonna set up another regime for you later, same for everyone else when we get into Viridian Forest. He continued, before releasing everyone to start their first training session. With everyone else busy either teaching, learning Dig, he began writing up the regime for his friends. He also had one. Mew had given it to him a few weeks ago. After a good hour or so, Ash had finished a first draft training regime for his friends. 6 o'clock to 6:30, wake up, wash up and clean up. 6:30 to 7:30, the team has a morning jog. Ash will meditate during this time. 7:30 to 8:15, breakfast. 8:25 to 8:50, stretches, morning exercise. 8:55 to 10:55, move tutoring, move combo training. 11:05 to 15:30, traveling and weight training. His team will walk with him while wearing the attachable weights. They will take short breaks now and then. 15:30 to 16:20, lunch. 16:40 to 18:20, mock battles with weights. 18:40 to 20:20, Move tutoring, move combo training. 2040 to 2120, dinner. 2120 to 2220, meditation for Ash, free time for his Pokémon. 2240, sleep. Note: after every 3 days, take 1 day off from training. Take the weights off of the team at the start of each week, so they can get used to moving without them. Still travel to the next town, as well as get to know new teammates. Asterisk. Once that was written up, he brought his focus back to his team, to see how they were doing. From what he could see, both Reza and Jin were slowly getting the hang of Dig. What he meant by that was that the two of them were slow in doing the move. Thinking of Jin, Ash looked down to the Pokeballs on his belt, more specifically the one containing his second starter. He began to wonder who they could be. Would it be a male or female? Would they be one of the 3 starters from Sinnoh or one of the Pokémon from that region? He grabbed the Pokeball, unhooking it from his belt, letting the ball let itself grow to its normal size. Before he could react, it opened up by itself, letting whatever Pokémon that was inside, out. Take this, a female voice shouts out towards him, as he is then assaulted by a multitude of razor leaves and vine whips. Raises paw. My ears twitched, causing me to turn my head towards where Ash was just as a flash of light appeared in front of him. A female voice shouted from the light, and before I knew it, he was getting attacked. I quickly performed a quick attack, in hopes of catching the attacker off guard. Sadly I didn't, but I now stood between them and Ash. I was in my battle stance facing the attacker for a brief moment before slightly turning my head towards Ash, still keeping the attacker in my line of sight. Ash, are you okay? I ask, getting a grunt from him. Taking that as a yes, I brought my full attention back to the attacker, taking notice that both Loki and Kaiserin were right behind them and in their battle stances as well. End raises POV. Asterisk third person POV. Why'd you attack our friend? Loki growls out, only to receive a snarl from them. They were about to launch another attack when the attacker was grabbed from behind and lifted off of the ground. Wait SSN Snivy. Jin stutters out, effectively distracting the attacker now known as Snivy. Sensing that she would no longer attack anyone, he put her back on the ground. Once there, she turned around and faced him. What? Riolu, what the hell is going on? Where the heck are we in? Snivy then dragged him behind her and glared darkly at the other Pokémon and the human. Who the hell are they? She exclaims, to which allows Jin to introduce everyone. This also gives Ash enough time to take out his Pokédex and scan Snivy. Snivy. LV. 20. Description: Snivy, a bipedal, reptilian Pokémon with a slender build. Most of its body is green with a cream underside. A yellow stripe runs down the length of its back and tail, and it has yellow markings around its large eyes. 2 curved yellow structures that resemble leaves or small wings protrude from its shoulders and bend backward. Its slender arms have 3 fingers, while its tiny feet have no digits whatsoever. It has a large, palmate leaf with 3 prongs on the end of its tail. This tail is capable of performing photosynthesis, which allows Snivy to move more quickly. However, the tail will begin to droop when Snivy loses energy. This Pokémon has a calm, collected demeanor. Note: this Pokémon is shiny. Asterisk. This Snivy was colored blue instead of green. She also had a faded red instead of yellow. That was one of two things that Ash had noticed when looking at her. The other thing he noticed was that she was glaring darkly at him. He was about to speak when he suddenly felt something cut his right temple. Lifting his finger to check how bad of a cut, bringing the finger in front of his face, he realized that he was bleeding from the cut. He looked back towards Snivy, who was still glaring and snarling at him. He also noticed that she was preparing to attack him again. Jin took notice of this and picked her up and dragged her into the forest, telling the rest that they would be right back. Jin's pav. I continued to pull Snivy in deeper and deeper into the forest, as I know it would be the only way for me to talk with her without her attacking Ash again. Once I am sure that we are deep enough into the forest, I let her go and jump back, as she tries to hit me with one of her vines. "What the hell were you thinking?" she questioned, to which I replied, asking her the same thing but less threateningly. I then sidestepped to dodge the razor leaves she was hurling at me. I was trying to get rid of a problem before we could get hurt. "What I want to know is why are you protecting it?" she snarls, launching another razor leaf attack at me. I dodged them all, yet she snarled at me again before I could answer her. The first thing I see once I get out of that damn contraption is a human, our enemy, and here you are acting all buddy-buddy with it. I mentally scoff at her. 1. His name is Ash. 2. He may be human but he is not our enemy. 3. Did you forget I can sense aura? I could already tell that he wasn't a bad one, I tell her. She believes that all humans are out to hurt us and she always attacks trainers who want to take us on, without even asking me if they are bad or not. Believe it or not, I have been wanting to get a new trainer, as I already know they were the ones who would make us stronger than if we were alone. I wanted a trainer who could train me to become stronger and later train with me. After sensing Ash's aura and hearing about his past, how similar it was to ours, I was already going to fully accept him as my trainer. There have been others who piqued my interest when we were staying in that other place, but with Snivy attacking them all left and right, I never got the chance. She acts like an overbearing mema and sees me like an errant hatchling. I know that her previous trainers have been abusive to her, 5 to 6, but Giratina, that doesn't mean all of them are gonna be like that. I have this optimism due to me only having to go through one abusive trainer, and that one was enough. Shaking my head, I brought myself back to reality and began speaking to her again. Also, don't you think his Pokémon would have warned me if he was abusive or not? Plus he is different from other humans. I then place my paw up to stop her from interrupting me. Look, from what his Pokémon have told me and from what I can tell from his aura, I agree with what I said. He is not like other humans. I state, only to receive a scoff from her. Isn't that what you said about him, and look how great of a trainer he turned out to be? She states, causing me to go silent. What she said was true. I told her that our previous trainer had a great feeling aura. Even a majority of his Pokémon said that he was a great trainer, but something changed him. Before he was such a happy, outgoing person, but then became cold and isolated. He started pushing us to our limits and forcing us to do more than we could, abusing us as well as abandoning those he considered weak or worthless, dropping them as well as us like flies. I then shook my head, not wanting to think about the past. Look, can you just trust me on this? Ash is different. Can you just give him a chance before? For me, please, I ask in a near begging manner, putting on the puppy dog eyes as no one can ever deny my request when using them. After a few seconds, she drags out a fine. But, if he turns out the way I know he will, we leave, and you need to stop looking for another trainer. She says in a, that's final, tone, and before I could say anything else turns around and heads deeper into the forest. I let out a sigh staring as she heads in deeper before I turn around and make my way back towards Ash and the others. And Jin's Pav. Once Jin had gotten back to the group, he quickly explained what happened between him and Snivy. Mostly just telling them about the deal he had made with her, as they already knew about the abusive trainer they had. She will most likely stay in the forest for the rest of the day, coming back sometime in the evening. He states, and after a few minutes of just talking with one another, they start back up on their training. A good hour or two had passed. Both Jin and Reza had gotten the basics of dig down and were now just trying to increase their speed in using it. Another 2 to 3 days and they would be able to do it on command, or at least near perfection. Ash had begun preparing a late lunch for everyone, as it was 2 to 3 in the afternoon, when suddenly a multiple loud row was heard along with the beat of nearly 100 wings. Everyone turned to face where the sound came from and saw a huge flock of sparrows, taking flight above the trees. Suddenly Snivy dashed out of the trees with a bunch of scratches all across her body and re-entered the forest in the direction of Route 1. Understanding what must have happened, or at least what he thinks might have happened, he began launching orders towards his team. Reza, launch as many Thundershocks bolts as you can to knock out as many of the flock as you can. Kaiserin, if any of them get near enough to Snivy, I want you to launch either a poison sting or a double kick. Both of them nod and begin running after her, following his orders. Loki, I want you to help Raisin in dealing with the group of Spiro in the air. Jin, I want you to help Kaiserin in dealing with any of them that get too close to Snivy. They both nod as well. Soon the three of them are rushing to catch up with the others, leaving behind everything that Ash had brought out, but Ash made sure to grab his bag as it held potions.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you like it, don't forget to turn on the bell icon. I'll meet you in the next video. I wait to I just wanna sleep. So see ya later.